And how long you lived in this neighborhood?
I've lived in this neighborhood since January 2020. So I moved to this neighborhood out of my parents' house in Ventura Hill literally right before the pandemic hit. And it was really nice to have my own little neighborhood to explore and my own space during that whole situation, pandemic situation. And it's so opposite from where I grew up across town, so it's been just nice to get to know a different part of the city.
Are you enjoying the fog?
I mean, it hasn't been that bad. Like global warming, climate change, like.
You feel like it was worse before?
I think it was a lot worse before. We have our moments, but like, and I don't want to jinx it or anything, but since moving even closer to the beach in March, like, it's been some pretty nice days out here. Those people are in my spot.
That's your spot there?
Yes, it's my spot.
Damn. This is beautiful over here, though.
Well, I can load up the film on the bench or something. But yeah, it's hella pretty. And then there's like that staircase. You know what I'm talking about?
Which one?
That goes all the way down.
Mm-mm.
Oh, we can walk down that way. Okay, so Avatar. Little bottom load situation with the Leica. This way.
Have you learned how to get faster over time with it?
Not really. I feel like I don't shoot enough to get that fast.
When do you primarily use this camera?
I mean, for a while it was kind of. I got this camera in October 2020, and I was using it a lot, and then it was kind of just sitting for a while, and I've kind of been bringing it out more. It's good for walks because it's pretty compact and light, but it takes really good photos. Sometimes I travel with it. Like that is the exact spot that I've been standing. It's fucking hilarious. Climbing on things.
How would you describe
I
your...
take one with my phone because that's what I've been doing.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
How would you describe your shooting style?
Well, I don't really take a lot of photos of people. It's like never really been that my thing. Street photography is like super intimidating to me because I just like, I don't know. It's just feel like it takes a different like attitude and speed and way of looking at things for street photography. And I'm just like, I'm more interested in like the spaces that people do stuff in than like the actual people themselves. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And kind of just like capturing like the little details of like the landscape.
I like that.
Yeah. And just like funny things, like when it comes to the neighborhood, I'm always looking for just like funny, weird things that kind of catch my eye. Like whether it's a weird item that somebody left on the street. Like there was a washing machine one day just like on the street, like a broken one. Just stuff like that where we can try to go this way. I'm not sure what will happen. I think we'll get to that staircase. I'm gonna lead you into the woods.
It's a mystical staircase. I've never seen it in my life.
Okay, you're gonna be like, oh. Yeah, I love this little corner up here. Like it's like Sutro Heights Park. We're up here, and it's just very peaceful.
beautiful colors right now.
Yeah. The spring has sprung. But I'm definitely, like, literally in the process of even, like, deciding if I can even call myself a photographer. Like, I definitely consider myself an artist who sometimes uses photography. But I don't know. It's just been an evolution of my identity.
It's a hard realization to come upon.
To process that. And I think, like, as I focus more on, like, publishing and, like, working on the magazine stuff, I feel like being in the more editor, curator identity and space, like, makes a little bit more sense and is kind of more my strength. And, like, what I enjoy is the connection between images and making those connections, as opposed to, like, capturing them myself. I think I'll always love to take photos just for fun, but I don't know if I'm pursuing it as seriously anymore.
Did you always want to take photos when you were younger?
I feel like it kind of started organically. Like, both my parents are, like, pretty creative. My mom used to take photos in college, and when I was a teenager, my dad signed me up for this, like, darkroom summer camp in the Bayview, and I picked up one of my mom's old cameras, and the rest is history. So I feel like it just then became more of, like, an interest of mine, especially the old cameras and film and stuff. I liked that process, and then through high school and college, it was just kind of always there. But it wasn't until I moved out here in 2020 and had nothing else to do besides walk around outside during the pandemic that I started shooting a lot more and kind of got back into it in a more serious way.
What part of photography is your favorite or most enjoyable?
Well, I feel like I usually walk around by myself, and it's kind of a way to get out of my head and just be, like, very present in what's around me and just be, like, observing the world instead of, like, thinking about it. Okay, we're coming up to the staircase that I told you about. It's windy.
I've never seen the staircase in my life.
So this is a great, like, this is a sick view also, and then we'll go down. Love this view.
What is it about film photography, though? Compare as towards digital.
I think it feels more intentional and slower, and, like, you have to, I don't know, I like the actual, like, cameras better. Like, the machines themselves have just, like, a weight to them, and, like, it's just so cool that it's a completely analog. Even point and shoot cameras that have electronics, like, there's just something more satisfying. And for me, digital just feels like a lot of the work goes in after for, like, post editing and stuff. And I'm not interested in that. Like, I want to just create something. Like, with film, if you expose something well, you're pretty much good to go.
One thing I noticed from digital and film, taking both, not having a lot of experience in digital photography, but even when I do it in JPEG, the colors are just never perfect. Just never come out for whatever reason. And then when you shoot it in RAW and then put the colors to how you like it, I'm just always frustrated, like, how come I just can't do it on the first try?
Right, yeah. It's a lot of work, and, like, I just want to be a little bit slower and intentional with the process. And enjoy, there's just a interesting, not exactly science, but process to shooting film that is, like, takes a little bit more planning, and I don't know. And like you said, it's frustrating when you have a roll of black and white stuck in a camera, but like that's just how it goes. Like you can't just switch back and forth, and it almost creates these like creative constraints.
How long did it take you to get through a roll of black and white?
Gosh, it depends. I mean, if I'm just out and about on a walk and stuff, and I'll try to use up the roll, but a while, unless I find some sort of situation or scene or something that I feel like really needs black and white, and then I'm on a roll. But I mean, this camera, I'm on 16, and I put that roll in when I was in New York, and haven't really been shooting much. And I put it in black and white because I was in Grand Central Station. I thought it would be cool, and then I pushed the roll a stop to 400, and so now I'm just kind of screwed because I just have this roll of Cine still in here, and it's probably going to be super overexposed. And I don't even think the Grand Central photos are going to be that good. Some now, looking up the staircase. Not right. Good stuff, good stuff. Ooh, a chair. Did you put this here, like, in preparation of our walk?
Is these the type of things you're looking for when you're out?
Yeah, I don't know why I've always been fascinated by what people leave on the street. Like, my very first zine that I made in like 2017, right after I moved back to San Francisco, was called Found. And it was like all stuff that I had found on the street, like this. And then it was just this little tiny zine of random found shit. And I just, for some reason, like the things people discard, but not in the trash can, just out on the street, have always been fascinating to me. Okay, we're gonna do some color. This camera, I feel like the sweet spot for the lens is like 5.6. This comes out the best. It's kind of like why I like shooting lower speed films in this.
What type of lens are you using?
This is the 50 millimeter Zeiss lens.
F2?
1.5.
Oh, nice.
I realized I had so much film in my fridge.
What's your favorite medium format camera?
Well, I have a Hasselblad, so that's pretty awesome. Love my Hasselblad. A long time ago, I was just playing around with a Holga. That was like my first medium format. It's like definitely more of a toy, but it's cool to play around with a square format, and you can make some really cool like double exposures and do cool stuff with the Holga. It's also pretty cheap in comparison to other medium format cameras. I want a twin lens reflex. I don't have one of those that's working. I haven't really explored a lot of other medium format cameras or other ratios of like 6:4:5, that kind of thing.
I just got my TLR back from being fixed.
Oh, is it fixed?
That was the first camera that actually went out on me, and then I took it to the Glass Key, and they fixed it for $60.
Oh, that's nice.
I love Glass Key, like they're the
best.
best.
I love Glass Key too.
You also have your
That's
magazine
actually
there,
where
right?
I got this camera from Glass Key Photo.
Oh, nice.
And the lens as well. And that was like before the Leica whole situation kind of blew up. So it wasn't that expensive. They always have good prices. They always like, and this is not an ad for Glass Key, but I love those guys and they support the magazine. They're one of our sponsors. It's just like a super inspiring, cool local business. I didn't buy this little camera I bought from a friend, but Glass Key is an amazing resource, yeah. And with this camera, like there were some issues with like light leaks coming in through the back and stuff, and they sent it out to their repair guy and for like $50 fixed it. So Yeah.
I bought my Canon from there too, my Canon rangefinder.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it was a really cool experience. That's how I got to go there. And great guys.
They're great.
It's cool to see your magazine in there,
yes,
though.
They have Pamplemousse for sale, Glass Key. Definitely, like, I've known about them since when they were back in like the back of a record store on Haight Street back in the day, like 2008, 2009. Yeah, like a long time ago. And it's just been cool to watch them grow, and they're also like actively photographers, so it's just cool because they know their shit and are like very supportive.
I love how they cater to film photographers.
Yes.
Which is a rarity, and that in the Bay Area we have a lot of cool film photography places, such as Photo Works, such as Glass Key, such as Seawood and Seawood Photo in San Rafael.
There's a bus in the way. Go ahead, it's all good. Artist. He's out here being an artist.
Good.
Yeah, I was taking photos of just like a cool yard and cool fence that I saw in the neighborhood. And this guy was like, "What is it? What's happening?" And I was like, "Oh no, nothing. Like I just like what I see." So sometimes people do question like, "What are you doing?"
One time I was at a tennis court and I was taking photos because I like the colors, and there was like tennis balls everywhere, and the lady yelled at me, told me to pick them all up, and I was like, "Lady, I don't even have a tennis racket on me, or like I'm
not here for the tennis.
I'm just here to take a photo," and she wouldn't let it go.
That's interesting.
Yeah, she was so mad because she was like, "I reserved the court next." So I was like, "Yo."
Yeah, I had nothing to do with this. Yeah, and I think like when it comes to street photography and taking photos of people, I just like I'm just like not comfortable, like in case people do kind of ask you like, "What are you doing?" or whatever. Like, I don't know. Yeah, I really respect street photographers and people who are just like out in busy areas trying to capture like interesting human moments, because I just can't. My brain doesn't creatively.
Have you ever had a confrontation before?
No.
Have you seen your friends have confrontations? Because you're
not really.
I don't
really hang out or like walk around with like the street photographer people. I think it's funny though, because if you're out in public, like we're being recorded all the time, security cameras and people's cars and all kinds of shit. So it's just when someone points a camera in your face, it's a different story, I guess. But I'm more interested in definitely more interested in the absence of people in spaces and environments and landscapes. I don't know why, but it just like that draws me in more. Yeah. Oh damn, I forgot there was something I wanted to take a picture of, but it's too far now. There's a sign like on one of those apartment buildings. It just says like Ocean Beach, but it's just a wall. So it's like that kind of stuff that's like funny to me, and like that I like to shoot, because like, what?
What are some projects that you're working on that you've never really ever, like a long-term project that you work on that you never really talk about or people don't really know that's like something you're doing?
I mean, I have been kind of exploring and playing around with some like mixed media collage stuff a little bit more. I had shown some like collages at like an art show last year, where it was like found photos and then photos I took. But I've been playing around a little bit with like the mixed media kind of style, where it's usually a photograph is part of it, but there's just like other aspects and materials that I like to use, like textures and more like a 3D kind of thing, because photography is pretty flat usually. So that's kind of like, I've always liked to collage. I've always liked to like physically cut up paper and photos and glue things and get my hands sticky and feel like the tactile kind of nature of it. We're gonna walk past a little coffee shop window place that actually has some copies of the magazine. Hopefully they're in the window. We'll see. I also felt like during the pandemic, I almost had this obligation to like document the neighborhood and what was going on, because it was such a weird time. and there were so many like signs up and like just strange moments of emptiness. And it was kind of like a weirdly historic time that like none of us really knew what was going on. But I felt like it was important to document.
I kick myself all the time because I wish I would have picked up a camera.
Like, why is there a Christmas tree on the sidewalk, though? That's what I'm talking about.
There's a biker coming down.
Thank you. So I usually like to do things solo, but it can be handy to have someone to look out for cars. Such a strange, random thing. Why?
Oh, I told another biker.
You can go around. I hope that comes out because that's cool. Walk back over. This Tesla's getting in our way.
This street has some cool colored houses.
Yeah, this purple is a bold choice.
Very.
I've never seen that color on a house in my life.
One thing I love is that yellow door in the middle gray house.
Oh yeah.
One project that I've been working on for a while, for years, and I don't even have that many photos of it, is that I just take pictures of doors. I just love.
That's cool.
I love
There's
doors.
so many good doors in this neighborhood too. Gates and doors, and in San Francisco in general.
I remember talking with someone and they thought it was stupid, but I'm just like, look at these doors are really cool. They're unique. They're all.
And like an entryway is important.
Like any door. I like that door.
That's
like
a cool door. I like the colors. This house has been green for a while. There's a lot of green happening. See, but then like sometimes this lens a little too tight.
What's your preferred lens or size on
I
the
don't
focal
know.
length?
I mean, I don't really like think that much about that stuff. I usually just like with the Hasselblad, I have an 80 millimeter. Like, it's pretty good for portraits, which I don't shoot that much of, but it also gives an interesting composition for landscapes. I feel like I'd have to compare. I don't know what the focal length is on this little guy off the top of my head. 35 millimeter. So this is a little, like, I'm not good at math and numbers and things, so I guess that's wider. Is that wider than 50?
It's wider,
yeah.
So about your Hasselblad lens is about the same equivalent to the one you have on your rangefinder in your Leica.
So they're closed, but, and they don't have them in the window right now, but this is a butterfly joint. It is a coffee window and woodworking workshop for kids, and they are friends, neighborhood friends that I met, and they carry the magazine. So that's cool. Community, neighborhood. Super nice people. They throw like awesome community events in their space and are super supportive of just like artists that live in the neighborhood. Love to see it. But yeah, I haven't been working on that many other like longer term projects. I feel like it kind of just came to me that I wanted to go back in my archive of photos from the Richmond and kind of see what similarities and like things I could kind of put together. And I started printing out just on regular paper, like little thumbnails, and I'm gonna start like cutting them out and moving them around and thinking about what a series or book would even look like for that. But it also might be the kind of project that maybe I need to live in this neighborhood for 10 years, you know? Like, I want to really, like, capture a unique view of the neighborhood. So it's probably one of those projects that I'm not going to know when I'm done.
Some of these houses have really unique designs on them like that.
Yeah. There's such a variety of architecture out here. More chairs. But that feels more like placed there, so it's like less interesting to me than something that just got discarded.
I think the Richmond was a place where they didn't have any type of zoning restrictions when you go. So there's different type of houses were built out here.
Totally.
And so all the houses out here are so different compared to you go to the other neighborhoods where they're kind of like
similar
unilateral
style, or at least similar era. Like there's all over the place too of like when things were built.
You're starting to see more modern houses out here now too. People are building them up.
Boxy modern things. And then there's some of these apartment buildings that are just like beautiful old apartment buildings. Like there's some Art Deco amazing apartment buildings out here. I feel like I live in a pretty amazing apartment building.
Do you ever photograph the Alexandria on Geary?
No.
That's been there ever since I lived here for like.
Actually, that is not true. I am lying. When I was in high school, was it high school? We did like a thing where it was like a day where I don't know how they separated us into groups, but we like picked we had little groups and we picked a neighborhood, and my group went to the Richmond, and it was the first time I had really spent much time out here, and I took some photos of that theater, and now they're turning it into housing. But I remember kind of like being out here exploring. And I did take some photos of that. That was 15 years ago.
I wonder what it looked like in its heyday of like.
I know.
How beautiful it might have been.
And they claim like that they're gonna try to like restore it and like honor the history of the building with the housing they're putting in. So we'll see if they do that.
As long as they don't get rid of Joe's.
Yeah.
That's my favorite place in the Richmond.
Oh really? Yeah, and then there's just so many little like micro cultures and pockets and little neighborhoods even within the space out here, which I love.
I love the Russian neighbors out here.
Yes, lots of
hearing the language out here. Cinderella Bakery is one of the best.
Lots of multi-generational like families and households, and it just feels like a really real neighborhood. I definitely don't think it's like that much cheaper than anywhere else in the city, a little bit. But it's cool, like I have people in my building that have been living there for like 25 years. That's always amazing. You know, it's a rent-controlled building, I get it, but you know, this feels like a neighborhood where you can really like put down roots and feel like you're part of a community. There's a lot of really cool businesses on Balboa and just people like doing cool stuff. One day I want to have a space out here. It's like office, gallery, library, community space.
On Balboa or Geary?
I don't know exactly what street, but one of these, Cabrillo, Anza, Balboa, like one of these.
Each street is like a whole nother.
I know. It's gonna depend on probably Balboa just for the foot traffic. Little SpongeBob moment here. I feel like there are these little clusters of retail spaces, and it would just be like my dream is to have like a retail space with an apartment above it.
That would be.
There's a lot of interesting little buildings out here like that. This is good. We're getting our steps in.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little winded.
I know. Sorry. Let me know if we're walking too much.
Yeah, it's all good.
The hills. It is kind of hilly out here, which is surprising. People don't think about that.
I've been out here so long, I'm still never in shape walking these hills.
I grew up in Potrero Hill on a very steep hill, so I'm used to it.
Yeah. This year I went to the Potrero Hill, the races.
Oh yeah, I saw as you posted a picture from there. Yeah.
Oh, that's so great. I still have a lot of photos from there. The problem, I never post anything I get. I just hoard onto everything.
Yeah.
And then I look at them, I'm like, oh, these are horrible. No one's ever gonna like these.
I'm sure you got some good shots. It's an interesting, fun, crazy event.
How do you deal with that as an artist, feeling the imposter syndrome?
I mean, I think sometimes taking a break from social media or like not posting as much and just trying to like make art for me, you know? I know ultimately I love to make art and create stuff like because it makes me happy and it feeds this sort of like need to create, and so just trying to do it for me and not for any other reason, and not necessarily be working on a project or a book or trying to get a show, like just making art when I feel like it and when it makes me happy. But it's definitely hard to not compare yourself to other people and other artists and other photographers and other projects, and it's definitely hard to like face rejection if you apply for things and, you know, compare yourself to other people's ideas. Like, it's definitely tough. And I think with the social media, like, for the most part, people are pretty supportive, but like the world can be harsh, and so sometimes it's like very vulnerable to put your art out into the world, even if it's on Instagram and everyone's gonna like it and say nice things. So I think it's just like up and down with how much I share, and like I never want to be just like taking photos just so I have photos to post. Like, I want to share work that I'm proud of, and, you know, not feel like like an external thing is driving my creativity, but it's coming from inside me.
So how do you get other artists to be vulnerable and share what they're working for your magazine?
I mean, I'm always just honored when people are willing to collaborate with me, and like seeing photography, especially film photography in print, I feel like makes a huge difference and like really adds a layer to the experience of looking at a photograph. So usually people are excited, people who shoot film and are like in this, whether it's more of a hobby or more of a pursuit of a career, like they're usually pretty excited about the idea of print. I think a print magazine goes pretty well with the concept of film. And I feel like it's fun for me to put together the puzzle pieces of an issue, or like around a theme, just based off of what my instincts are in terms of like what should be in it, I guess. I think people also just like the idea of their work being seen in a different context, outside of social media, outside of an exhibition, outside of a website. Like, it's cool to see how the projects kind of interact within one publication. And for the most part, people are pretty excited about that collaboration and, you know, reaching an audience that they might not otherwise not have access to. But I'm always like just really grateful. Like, from the start, it's just been people that I've first started out, people that I knew, or people that knew of me, or that were submitting stuff, just like, you know, letting me publish what they've been working on, and that's amazing. So I'm just really grateful for so many creative, cool people that have come into my life through making the magazine and connecting with other photographers.
Thank you for being so
I don't know, was that a good
eloquent
answer?
Yeah.
And like, it's just fun. Answer. It's just fun, you know?
Remember when I talked about the tennis courts? Those are the tennis courts where the lady
those are the tennis courts?
That's the one where the lady got mad at
yelled
me.
At you, okay.
Because it was during COVID, and that's when like
yeah,
people were reserving spots. She definitely got me. So something.
It's also so cool to see like what people put outside their houses, and just like you get these glimpses into people's lives, like just from walking around. And this street has been a slow street for like most of the pandemic, and I used to live closer to Cabrillo, so I've walked and ran out this street like a lot, and so it's fun to kind of each time like feel like I'm discovering something new. And the changes, like when houses get painted different colors, and sometimes I go into open houses if they're happening on the weekends just for fun. Because I'm just like a curious person. I like seeing inside people's houses.
I want to start going to estate sales.
Oh my God, I went to one, not that, like right after I moved, there happened to be one on Geary. Here's a sign for a moving sale. Should we go?
Check it out.
Estate sales are sick though, yeah. Okay, wait, what are the details of this moving sale? Saturday, 12 to 5, 3631 Cabrillo. We're totally going. Yeah, when I was furnishing my apartment, I have more space now, and I got most of my stuff Facebook Marketplace, flea market. Estate sales are interesting though, because they're just like usually trying to get rid of everything.
I've never been to one. I haven't been to one in like a long time, so it's like I want to go to one out here.
36, 31.
Right here.
Right here.
Yeah.
You never know what you're gonna find. Should we go?
Sure.
I'm confused.
This door's open.
Oh, up here?
Yeah.
Okay. This is weird. There's nobody else here. I think we should. There's nobody else in here.
Okay. They can't all be winners.
Now I need more art. Like I have some photos and some art to hang in my new space, but I want to go to the flea market and look for art, like weird paintings and cool, larger art pieces that I could hang up.
I never really spent much time on Cabrillo, but I forget how beautiful it is over here.
Yeah, and like it's nice to be able to walk in the street, and I wonder if they ever rented my old apartment.
What street was your old apartment on?
26th Avenue,
Oh, 26.
between Cabrillo and Balboa. Which is why I was like out here a lot, but yeah. You might be able to even see my new building from down here once we get to 36. I like being able to walk in the street, but you gotta watch it. Like people drive like crazy in this town.
That and the bikers will get you too.
Bikers will get you too, yeah. But this neighborhood feels very walkable. I love being able to do errands on foot, like or take the bus like down Geary, or just like walk around, go to the post office, get a coffee, walk to the grocery store. Like I love walking and being able to do stuff on foot. Like I have a car, which I'm blessed to be able to move around, but this neighborhood you can kind of just like, you have everything you need. And that's awesome. This is just a commercial, turning into a commercial for the Richmond. Don't come out here, don't move out here. This is my neighborhood. Protect it.
I mean, we did get voted best neighborhood in San
Just
Francisco,
kidding.
so.
Did we? By who?
There was a post there was a website that ranked the best neighborhoods in the world, and San Francisco Richmond was the best neighborhood. We're the only one in there ranked.
Yeah.
And we were, I think, 37th or 47th, something like that, in the world.
Oh wow. Okay.
The top couple were like in Mexico City.
Interesting.
And I was like, yeah, I've been telling everyone.
If you look really far, there's like a green apartment building all the way at the top of that hill. That's my building.
Nice. You want to go that way?
Oh, either way, if we're walking, I mean, yeah, we can start walking back.
Or which way do you want to go?
I don't care. Up to you.
Okay.
I have like half a roll left. I don't have to finish the roll, but.
Would you want to do a part 2? If I get this together, see how it comes out?
Yeah, of course. Whatever
And
you want.
we could do like a different location if you want.
Yeah, sure.
It'd be really sick.
I mean, this is mostly like where I walk around and take photos, but it could be fun to go to a completely different part of the city.
I know you wanted to try the Alameda one too.
Oh yeah.
That'd be really cool.
That would be cool, and it would be nice to go with someone.
Yeah, I know. That's what you told me last time.
Well,
too.
and you know what I did recently? I went to meet a friend in Jack London Square in Oakland, and I took the ferry.
How was that? Was it fun?
It was hella fun.
I've
And it's
never
like
taken the ferry before. I
It's
would love
cheap.
to.
We should do that.
I would love to try it.
Yeah, and it stops in Alameda.
You take the 5 down, or 31?
I took the 38 all
38,
the way
38.
down to Market Street, and then you walk to the ferry building, and it's like
Oh, okay.
$4.80.
Okay, the next time we film over there, let's take the ferry.
Let's take the
we'll
ferry.
make a day out of
Because
shooting
it
and filming.
stops at it stops in Alameda, but right by the flea market, kind of naval base, so it is the cool kind of rundown spot that I've been wanting to photograph.
One of my favorite breweries is right there.
Yes.
Faction, and then
Yes. It's like super sick. And the ferry took like 25 minutes. Like it's definitely probably faster on the bridge, but maybe not with fucking traffic.
No. It's it's faster to get there than the BART, because BART you have to get like an Uber from there or take a bus.
Yes, to get to that part of Alameda especially, and it just first it stops at Alameda and then it goes on to Oakland.
Yeah.
And then it goes back to the city, and you just use your Clipper card. It was like amazing. And I might go to the flea market, which is the first weekend of the month, but any other day. And it runs on the weekends. Yeah. I love this like weird little reason, like, this little scene of this gate with this pose has been interesting to me. It's kind of hard with the brakes. I don't know. I think it's not gonna work. I don't know why. I just like this little spot.
Rangefinders are the hardest, especially when you're doing up close.
Exactly.
They're the best when you want to do like infinity.
Yes. And that's what's hard about this little camera too, is like it's really, really hard to focus this. This is the rangefinder version of this camera. And it's
Oh, I had the other one was not
the zone
rangefinder.
focus. Yeah, this one's really, it's like great because you have aperture priority, but it's really hard to
I
focus.
love the zone focus one. I really like that feature. I just didn't like the shutter. I wish I would have kept it though. I kind of regret ever selling it.
Yeah, you should have kept it.
And I had an Olympus Mew, the
Yeah,
clamshell
yeah.
one, and I sold that one too like an idiot.
Especially because those have gotten so popular.
I kept a like a Pentax IQZ or whatever it was called,
Mhm.
those bulky ones,
Yes.
because that one never failed to focus, and the Olympus Mew always would fail focus for me.
Interesting. Yeah, I've never had one of those, but they're very popular.
I think it was just user error. I was barely new into it,
Yeah.
and I was like, I'll sell it real quick. I didn't even get that much money back. I don't even think I made a profit. I just sold it for what I got it for.
I mean, that's better than nothing. Like, I had this. Did I tell you about my Nikon 35 Ti?
Oh,
the tragic story of the Nikon 35 Ti.
It broke on you, right?
Yeah, it was such a beautiful little camera. Those like high-end point and shoots. With it just like it's just like a beautifully crafted object, but it had this shutter issues where it would just kind of jam and flutter and not fire, and then it was very unpredictable. And so when I sent it in to be looked at, they couldn't replicate the problem. And I ended up selling it for like half of what I bought it for to a friend who wanted to like work on it. Better than nothing, but learned my lesson. Stop buying cameras.
Tell me. I look at them now and I'm just like, I feel like, damn, I should never did it.
Well, for
I was
most of my
seeing this old exposed wood like that.
oh shit, yeah.
That's super nice. Wonder how old this wood is. It's so crazy.
That is crazy. And for like the longest time, I was just using SLRs. Like my mom had like a Pentax K1000, and then I, for some reason, I think I did a little bit of research and I bought like a Minolta SRT 101 on eBay. And those are heavy. But I carried that all around like Europe and all these places, and I loved that camera. I still have it. It definitely like has some weird issues with some of the shutter speeds. Like it's not in great condition anymore. And then I had heard of this thing called a Leica, and I was like curious, and the M3 is like the quote unquote slightly more affordable. And I like how compact this is. Isn't that so weird?
I've never seen this.
Isn't that so fucking weird, dude?
It's really funny.
I feel like I need a better. So yeah, I kind of want to get it like on a street cleaning day and get it from across the street, straight on.
I'll watch you out for cars, okay?
my dream to live here. Look at the windows too that someone put in.
You'll probably have regrets, honestly. For real.
Isn't that so fucking weird?
It's a really...
So that's kind of stuff. It's like stuff like that that I love to notice, and like only because I walked around here so much would I have even noticed.
You walked around way more than I ever have. Because
Yeah.
I'm like, I've been living here in this neighborhood forever, and I've never seen this place.
Yep. Oh, I'm gonna get it from this side. Sorry. Maybe you follow me around. I just want to stand outside and ask people as they come out, have you ever had regrets living here? Let's try to find when the street cleaning is. Here. Second and fourth Monday.
Second force for 9 a.m.
Let me just take so I remember what I'm doing. Second and fourth Monday of the month, 9 to 11. That's doable. We can make that happen. So yeah, no regrets. I mean, one would hope that you wouldn't have regrets, right? Should I recreate it?
How many times you shoot with a lens cap on?
I don't think I mean, only when the Holga is notorious. Like, there was a whole Flickr group back in the day that was like, don't forget to take the lens cap off. I don't usually do that. If you didn't get it on video, it didn't happen.
I know. I missed up.